Winning shot. Yo, we back, man. Just like that. I'm telling you. Listen, it's Black History Month. So what we're meaning to do is this. We're meaning to highlight African American athletes who have transcended the sport of whatever sport they play, just overall in general. Now, I dropped the ball. I'll take full responsibility for that as the host of the Winning Shot here family. So I apologize, brothers, for dropping the ball. But I brought us back. And I said, you know what? We can't end the month off like this. So we're back with a special episode specifically to highlight black athletes. What we're going to do here, we're not going to take too much of y'all time up. We know that y'all time is valuable. So if y'all would, sit with us for a few minutes, we do want to discuss our top 5 favorite black athletes of our lifetime. All of us are under 30, but above 0. So we've had 27. I've had 27 years. I don't know how old y'all are. I've had 27 years of my life to see some athletes who I thought were pretty great, pretty great, and have displayed greatness on the court or on the field or on the track or on whatever field that they played on. So I want to take my time, and y'all, we all going to take our time and just name our top 5 athletes of our lifetime. So, like I said, we all under 30. So this will be people who probably from late 90s up until 2025 who have made an impact on the game of whatever sport that they play. So I'll go ahead. It looks like y'all fellas are still kind of just doing some thinking and deliberation. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start mine off because, like I said, it's Black History Month. Before I get into that, man, I want to shout out my father, the late great Dr. Herbert Carmichael Jr., my OG, man. Your birthday would have been tomorrow, February 25th. You were born in 1953. You've been 72 tomorrow, man. I miss you and I love you. Always, 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 always. One of my favorite black athletes of all time. My father was he played in the NFL for a year, drafted by Detroit Lions. He was an All-American college athlete and an All-American high school athlete as well. So football, track, I mean, he did it. He did a lot of good things. They called him Blue back in Orangeburg, South Carolina. So if y'all know a little bit about OW, that's where he was at. He tore up the field when he was out there, tore up the track when he was out there. So that's my OG. It's my stomping grounds. But yeah, let's get right into it, fellas. Top 5 athletes of our lifetime. So do I want to go in order? I want to just talk about it non-specifically. Just give y'all 5 people. I'm not gonna go in order. I'm just gonna give y'all 5 athletes. All right. Number 1 came to mind. First person was LeBron James. I mean, ever since I was a kid, LeBron James is a kid who I was also aware of what sports were. LeBron James was that guy. He came into the league at 18, 17 out of Cleveland, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? And immediately he was the face of Cleveland's franchise, maybe not the face of the NBA, face of Cleveland's franchise, and he took the lead by storm, and he dominated the game, and he's been dominating the game so much that he's still dominating the game today at 40. So he's the first person that came to my mind, bro, just because of the way he's transcended the game of basketball. He has gone down in one of the arguments as one of the greatest of all time. And some people have already labeled him the greatest of all time, better than Jordan, better than Kobe, better than any other these other greats you can probably name. LeBron's up there and on a lot of people's list. And so to me, I had to say LeBron was definitely one of those guys who was on my list. Next, man, I'm going to go Serena Williams. Serena Williams, as y'all know, she's a winner. I mean, I don't got to see too much more than that. When it came to the sport of tennis, she was winning. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter whether it was doubles with her sister, whether it was singles matches, whether it was Grand Slam championships, she was winning. And she dominated the sport of tennis while she played it. She dominated it for years. Like, people always talking about Venus and Serena, but mostly Serena. You know what I'm saying? When Serena came into the scene, and Venus is her older sister, but when Serena came into the scene, they were young. I think they were like 15, 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? Took over tennis and really transcended the sport when there were not a lot of black women specifically in the sport of tennis. And so she had to go on my list as well. Another athlete, number 3, and once again, it's not in any particular order. I'm just giving y'all some people. Floyd Money Mayweather. When it came to the sport of boxing in my lifetime, once again, who was dominating? Floyd Mayweather. I mean, I don't think he lost any fights. I'm pretty sure he was undefeated when he retired. So he, TME, like I said, he has the sport of boxing. I mean, has had some greats, as you can imagine. But for my lifetime, Floyd was that guy who was everybody was like, "You watching the Floyd fight? Yeah, I'm watching the Floyd fight." So like he was another one of those guys I think has transcended the sport of boxing for my lifetime, and he's been dominant. He's made a lot of money. People paid to watch him. People talked about him. People still talk about him as being one of the greatest boxers of all time. Next, I'm gonna go to the balance beams, man. We gotta talk about Miss Simone Biles. Simone came onto the scene early 20, I think the Beijing Olympics, which was 2012, if I'm not mistaken. So she's been on the circuit for a long time. Working, maybe I don't think it's been that long. It can't be that long for Simone. My goodness, she ain't that old. Maybe no, because yeah, they start early with gymnastics, man. They be super young now. So maybe she was like 17, 18 when she first really got started in the Olympics. Um, so, man, I
She's our
mean,
age.
go ahead. Say what you want to say.
She's our age.
Oh, yeah, but I'm saying she started, I feel like, in the Beijing Olympics in like 2012, right? So like, it's shoot. She's been dominating the sport of gymnastics for a long time. And so shoot, I honestly, I'm gonna keep it a band. I was not paying no attention to gymnastics at all. I'm gonna keep it a band with you. I mean, when I watched the Olympics, that was not one of the sports that I watched. But once I heard about Simone and started watching a little bit, I was like, oh, she's cold. You know what I'm saying? Not once again, had no knowledge of any kind of thing with gymnastics at all. But the things that I saw her doing as a young woman and as a shorter woman, she was killing it. I mean, backflips and triple flips and quadruple flips and this and that. I mean, I was like, wow, I'm amazed. I know I could never do anything like that. And so to see her like doing that and getting perfect scores and doing things like people are like, wow, making up her own moves. You know what I'm saying? Like these are things in the gymnast world that's huge. So for her to be doing those things at such a young age, man, was really dope. I think I had to add her onto my list. And then fifth, man, I had to go with Tiger Woods. I mean, Tiger Woods speaks for itself. I mean, the sport of golf, as y'all know, we've had some African Americans who played golf. You got I can't even name some off the top of my head. I'm not gonna lie to y'all right now. But for me, that's another thing in my lifetime. I'm talking about my lifetime because I can go before my lifetime. But in my lifetime, we got to talk about Tiger Woods because Tiger, as long as I've been alive, Tiger has dominated golf. We had white people like really shook because they were like, "Hey yo, this is our sport," and here come Tiger taking over. And I was like, "Sheesh." As a black person who wasn't once again into golf and really still not into golf, I just like Tiger Woods. So people were like Tiger, and I was like, let me lock in with Tiger Woods. And so anytime I watched any kind of golfing match, and golfing used to come to Charlotte for some big tournaments and things like that. And so, shoot, when Tiger was in town or was able to watch Tiger on TV, I did. Did I understand what was going on at the time? No, I didn't. But a big thing came out which was the Wii, and they had Wii Golf on there. I used to act just like I was Tiger Woods on the Wii Golf. And I know everybody's laughing right now, but it's the truth. So for me, someone in my lifetime who I looked up to and who I know was a transcendent athlete in their sport, it was Tiger Woods. So man, those are my athletes, fellas. I hope that y'all list is as entertaining as mine was, because I had a good time talking about my five people, man, and how they were great. So I don't know if y'all list gonna really compare to my five. Y'all probably gonna take some of my five. I'm glad I went first. Y'all probably gonna take some of my people for y'all list as well. So, what y'all fellas got, man? Who for y'all in y'all lifetimes? I know me and Hunter the same age. I know Collin a little bit younger than us. So, who in y'all lifetimes? And probably like I said, the same athletes gonna make a difference. Are some people top five? And like I said, no particular order is needed. Who transcended the sport for y'all? And who y'all think in this Black History Month deserves some praise and recognition for what they have done in their respective sport?
Yeah,
Let's
I'll
start with
go
you,
ahead.
Collin.
Yeah, my four are gonna look similar to you, John. I got Floyd Mayweather number one. I wasn't a big boxing fan growing up, but definitely like as I got older, it started to tap in more with boxing, and just like Floyd as a tactician and just defense alone,
Yeah.
I think he's one of the best fighters ever. Like I was never graced to see Ali or Tyson, but Floyd beat the best, and even beat Pacquiao, and having a perfect record. Like I think it speaks for itself. So he definitely gets some love. Tiger, like kind of what you were saying, just that Sunday red, it's iconic. Like everybody stopped what they're doing to go see him on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Mickelson had some iconic duels, but I remember like there was some days I would be looking at his stats on the majors, and he was like 10 shots up from the next player, and I think that just shows the kind of dominance outside of the these past couple of years, man. I think he had a chance to beat Jack Nicklaus for the all-time majors. So that was unfortunate, but I think his dominance speaks for itself. Um, I put Brian number 3. I think Brian, like I was thinking about this the other day. It was like Brian has been dominant my whole life. Like it's
Yes,
I
literally.
watched basketball. We were talking about LeBron James, and it's just crazy to think about, man. Just like that stretch, that decade where it was him in the East going to the finals, and who else?
Yep.
And that's a crazy stat and just crazy thought even to have. So it just kind of Brian definitely needs his flowers now. Um, I actually put Reggie Bush number 4. I think in terms of my lifetime, man, like I've never seen that much dominance, and I think just in terms of influence, like Reggie Bush was like the first player, and even at USC team that I was willing to like stay up for to watch. Like even their games came on. Obviously, and I'm just speaking strictly on his collegiate career. I think he was just one of the most transcendent athletes that I've seen with my own eyes. And 5th, I put Serena. Um, it was between Serena and Steph for me, but we already talked about Brian. I think Brian had a little bit more influence and impact, but Serena, like her level of dominance, man, kind of made me start watching tennis more. Obviously we got other black athletes coming up, but I think Serena is like the best black athlete to grace the stage. Like I think she's better than Arthur Ashe. I think she's better than you know a lot of these other tennis giants. But I think not only just in terms of like the way that she was able to win, but the way that she was dominating. Like I think there was arguments that she was her serve was better than a lot of men, and I think that level of dominance definitely deserves to be credited. And I think if she didn't have to go through so many injuries, I think she could have still played and been formidable. So yeah.
Hundo, man, what you thinking, brother? Who your top 5
Um,
favorites in your lifetime?
so this gonna be my favorite athletes during my lifetime. My favorite, not
Look,
greatest, but my favorite.
I can hear it getting
Um,
bogus now. Yeah, look, all these emphasis. Yeah, he about to get real bogus. Go ahead.
no particular order. Carmelo Anthony. That's probably my favorite basketball player growing up.
There you go, Mr. Anthony.
Olympian, Nick member, bucket getter, future Hall of Famer. Um, his body of work speaks for itself, man. He was just a bucket on the court. Um, Second, I'm gonna go Bron.
Yeah,
Probably my second favorite player in the league. One of the goats, if not the goat. Um, them boys listed off what all he did, so no need for me to double down on that.
yeah.
Third, I'm gonna go Floyd. Like y'all said, man, best boxer we seen in our lifetime. Um,
Facts.
I remember when I was in high school, man, that Pacquiao fight, man. I ordered it for my birthday, bro, because my birthday was in May.
Yeah,
So ordered that junk for my birthday, bro. I had people over at the house, bro. Junk was lit. So shout out to Floyd, man. Um, really made me a fan of boxing growing up. Number 4, I'm gonna go Candace Parker. OG in the game, women's basketball, transcended the game. Before Caitlin Clark, before Asia Wilson, before Maya Moore, it was Candace Parker. She's a legend. She's a GOAT. So shout out to CP3. Um, this 5th spot, I had to go. I had to go with a current athlete. And I know I'm gonna get some slack for this one. Um, and some of y'all might be like, "Who is this, bro? Who are you talking about?" But 5th, I'm gonna go Earl Spence, man. He's probably my favorite current boxer right now. I know he got whooped by Bud Crawford. I know. But hey, he's my favorite. It's my list. So he gonna go at 5, man. He gonna go at 5. Shout out to Earl
okay.
Spence, man. Get in that ring, man. We want to see you back, man.
You said we. You meant you want to see him back.
Me in the boxing public. We
Oh,
want to see
okay.
him back in the ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get
And
your
but
get back.
that's a good little segue though. That's a good little segue though because I did want to ask you about honorable mentions. I mean, I guess he would fit in that category for me. Maybe I don't know if he could honorable mention honestly
Hey,
for my favorite stuff. But
honorable mention. I was thinking Tank too, and I was thinking Steph for me. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
honorable
shout out
mentions
to Tank, man. Tank got a fight this weekend, man. Y'all tap in, man. Easy work for him.
for sure, for sure. Man, I think my honorable mention list is actually kind of long. Like honestly, I was thinking obviously my two favorite Ravens of all time, Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. I mean, defensively, you can't really name too much they did not do in the early 2000s, up until they retired in the early teens. Of Ray Lewis, one of the best linebackers of all time in the NFL history. But to be able to see him in my lifetime and in person, I remember the first time I ever did see Ray Lewis in person, I was just in awe because that man, to me, watching him on TV was crazy, but then to see him in person and still do the same stuff was crazier. And then once again, the numbers and the stats speak for themselves. I mean, he's a champion, defensive player of the year. What did he do while he was in the NFL? You know what I'm saying? So
Jail.
Hundo, if you want to we want to start getting into life stories, we can do that. But like, that's not the purpose. This is Black History Month. Black History Month. We're highlighting Black excellence. And to me, what you said, what he said just a minute ago, this is my list. This is my time to talk.
Hey,
Hey,
I was just putting it out there, man. I was just providing context for the people.
you're trying to put down the black man during Black History Month. Dr. Umar is not
Is that,
proud,
is that what
sir.
it is?
Black
Where
Dr.
y'all,
Umar is not.
where y'all left some people out?
Once again, like I said,
since we talking about Dr. Umar, he left some people out.
like I said, we talked about greatness, and so for me, greatness, honorable mention. I'm mentioning Ray Lewis, and I'm mentioning Ed Reed, Mr. Pick. Once again, those two men right there transcended for me the defensive side of the ball in the NFL. They transcended my life as a Ravens fan. I mean, obviously, they're some of the greatest Ravens of all time, but I think even at their respective positions, they're some of the greatest at their respective positions of all time as well. I like Steph as honorable mention as well. I think he's a great honorable mention. I mean, you mentioned some just collegiate guys. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of African American just collegiate guys. I feel like were dominant in college. So I mean, that list could be almost endless. So I'm not even gonna go through that kind of list. But I mean, shoot, yeah, that's what I got for y'all, man. Those are my honorable mention pieces. Colin, got any honorable mention people?
Yeah, bro, I got a bunch, man. Obviously, I didn't mention him because I didn't see the prime of his career, but I definitely think Shaq deserves some love. Like
Yeah.
just watching the highlight,
Nah,
I can't
facts.
what seeing Shaq for the first time would have looked like.
Yeah.
Um, I definitely want to put Calvin Johnson on there. I got to see Calvin Johnson one time in my life at Georgia Tech. He was the best player on the field, and Georgia Tech was running offense. Like I had never seen an athlete like that.
Yeah.
And I knew as soon as I saw him in Georgia Tech that he was going to be a Hall of Famer. And I was like, yeah, he's one of those guys. The other guy I would say is like, actually, woman is that girl. I think it's Sydney McLaughlin. She's definitely
Oh,
gonna
yes.
keep her eyes out, keep her eyes on. Because I think like if she continues to dominate, she deserves to be in the conversation.
Indeed.
Not even just winning, but she's blowing out opponents on that. I think it was
It's not
400.
it's not close. Yeah, the 400 is not close.
Yeah, and the last person is Ken Griffey. I got to see him a couple times, and especially towards later into his career, like just watching him and wearing the shoes, like it was definitely one of those things. But he's one of my favorites. I'm not gonna say best.
Yeah, yeah. Favorites.
Also,
Favorites.
too, shout out Barry Bonds. I know he ain't gonna get the love because of the doping, but he definitely changed the game. Like he had niggas in front of the TV wanting to watch baseball. Baseball, y'all bogus. And trust me, y'all bogus.
Yeah.
Also, man, shout out to Jimmy Rollins. Speaking of baseball too, he was one of my favorite baseball players growing up.
Yeah.
Shortstop. And shout out Asia Wilson, man. She from the crib. She's doing great things right now. She definitely gonna be one of them ones when her career is over. So shout out to Asia Wilson. Signature shoe on the way.
Yeah. And we didn't mention him, but oh my God, I'm sorry. Kobe Bean Bryant, RIP to Kobe, man. Listen, Kobe had boys in the bathroom and in the classroom turning around hitting Kobe. Like, everybody was doing that jump. So we got to shout out Kobe Bryant, man, during this Black History Month because, I mean, once again, you transcended the game. Right after Jordan, you became the face of the league. And everybody's watching to see what you were going to do next. And he continued to win. Him and Shaq won together. And then when Shaq left, he won a couple more times as well. So I mean, like, he did that, man. I mean, he was dominant up until he decided to retire. Even on his last game, he dropped what 60. So I mean, like, it was Kobe time. Anytime Kobe was on that court, everybody stopped and they watched what Kobe Bryant was gonna do. So we had to add Kobe's that list as well.
Got to shout out to Tim too.
Who?
Tim Duncan.
Yeah, Tim Duncan on that list. I mean, like I said, bro, African Americans have done some amazing things in our lifetime. Once again, if we went outside our lifetime, the list would get even bigger. So I mean, like, just a lifetime to be able to see the Black dominance in sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have dominated a mass majority of sports. Mass majority of sports. Like I said, we took over golf at one point with Tiger. We took over, you know what I'm saying, tennis with Venus and Serena, and then now we got, you know, players like Coco Golf coming up, and now once again they got still got things to prove. But once again, African Americans have dominated sports for a very long time, and in our lifetime specifically, we've seen them dominate even more, and we've seen athletes, I mean, do some amazing things. And so to be Black in this month, in this lifetime of ours, has been a blessing because we got to see some dominance. And just because we're African Americans, we have a sense of pride that, like, wow, we're able to see someone that looks like us do these amazing things. You know what I'm saying? And it's dope to see kids have, you know, role models to look up to, people who they can look up to and say, well, if I work hard and want to excel in my sport, here's someone I can look up to that looks like them. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times in sports and some things, you know, outside of sports, it's hard to like find people who are doing things that you want to do who look like you. And so to be able to see sports, and that's the biggest, I think, avenue for a lot of young African Americans, for them to look up to those kind of people, man, it is dope because those people are always on TV. And so, like I said, to have those figures and see them dominating at this sport and know that it's possible, man, that to me is super dope. So, like I said, we're not going to belabor the time this evening. We wanted to take out some time and highlight some key African American figures in this Black History Month, man. This is an amazing time for us to sit and reflect on all the great things that African Americans have done, not only in sports, but just in the world in general. And so this is the time that we wanted to take to set aside itself. And I'm not going to go into a tangent or a rant because I studied Pan-Africanism in school. And so, I can get on my soapbox.
Talk to him, John. Let him know.
I'm not going to do it tonight. But just know, man, the African Americans make the world go around. I promise you we do. So listen, for all of our viewers, we appreciate y'all listening. We appreciate y'all tapping in once again. We wanted to be authentic to ourselves as 3 Black men in America. We wanted to be authentic and come here and show gratitude and show respect to those who have dominated sports and just been people that we've looked up to and had opportunity to have conversations about, have had given us think pieces and giving us a platform now to even speak on. You know what I'm saying? We don't have LeBron, who we talking about? You know what I'm saying? We don't got Jordan, you know what I'm saying? Who we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have these transcendent athletes in our sport now that a lot of people that we talk about now, you gotta think about are African Americans. If they're not hooping, if they're not on the field, if they're not on the court, if they're not on the tennis, if they're not running on the track, what this show is non-existent. There's no Winning Shot Pod without people winning. Black people winning, more specifically. So we appreciate y'all, man, keeping us in business, for one. Y'all continue to tap in, continue to be with us. We continue to rock in and rock out with y'all. Happy Black History Month. Please take some time, do some research. If I don't know the people that we talked about this evening, do some research. First of all, I don't know where you were at throughout our lifetime because those people that we named were pretty dominant. But if you don't know, go research. Watch some highlight tapes on YouTube. I promise you're going to like what you see. Continue, man, to support the pod once again. Appreciate y'all always here at the Winning Shot Podcast family. Tap into the Patreon. The Moors are putting up some great stuff. We got a lot of great articles coming out. We may put something special out before the end of this month out about some African American figures, man, who've just been great. May not be not too crazy, not too long, but tap in with us. You know, if you want some good stuff, like I told y'all last week, tap into that Patreon. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We'll be back again with another episode later on. Peace.
And drop y'all top 5 in the comments too, man.
Please.
Let us know.
What you think? Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong?